The wind knew my name. A quiet breath spoke it clear. I leaned into it with my face and knew I had nothing to fear. The wind knew my story, blew through it like it was lace. So I invited the wind to come over and gave it my heart to embrace.
Hello there, my love, my angel. Another beautiful create together with HITRECORD. Ooh, they are so gifted and talented. I am truly blessed for Joe and Dan discovering this beautiful outlet for us all to just collaborate with each other. Let's keep on collaborating and creating this beautiful art and music and voiceover. Just beautiful. I'm truly thankful. And I give thanks to God for you, all of my beautiful angels all over the world. As Mr. Happy always say, love is in the air because God is there with us all the way, and do not allow any obstacle to come into your way to stop you from succeeding what God have planned for you today. Create together. Hit record. Let's keep doing it. I love you. Later.
Hey, Herbert, look at this strange knot.
I do not think it is a knot, Isle.
Could it be a turtle? Perhaps it's asleep. Well, if it's not a knot and it's not a turtle, what could it be? Have you ever seen something like this before, Herbert?
No.
Maybe it's for carrying things? Ooh, like soup.
Yes, I think you're right.
But look, it has a hole in it. That's no good for soup, Herbert. Oh, I know what it is. It's a nest. It must be a nest. Never seen a nest that looked quite like this, though. What was your nest like, Herbert? It must have been huge.
I did not have a nest, Isle.
Well, where was your home?
I did not have a home either. At least, I have no memory of one.
You must have had a home. Everyone has a home. You know, it's where your family lives.
Family?
Don't you know what family is, Herbert? Family are the ones that take care of you and protect you.
Like a guard?
Well, no, not a guard, because you take care of them too. And they help you with things and teach you everything about the world that you didn't know about.
So, teaching someone makes them family.
But it's more than that, Herbert. Family laugh with you when you're happy and cry with you when you're sad. They sit with you when you're lonely and hold you when you're scared, and they never give up on you, no matter what. And when you're not with them, you miss them. You miss them so much. And you don't know where they are. And...
So, you and I are family.
Yes. Yes. We are family. We are family, and this is our nest.
This is the Tiny Story Show on HITRECORD.
Welcome to the Tiny Story Show. In this show, we will be highlighting some tiny stories written by some amazing artists. We will have guests presenting their own favorite tiny story. So, without further ado, let's welcome our first guest.
Oh, hey, HITRECORD. You caught me relaxing on a wonderful winter's day here in beautiful snowy Nebraska. And but I'm glad you're here because I want to tell you about a tiny story that I really like. Tiny stories from my tiny storybook. And this tiny story was written by Here I Am. The illustration was created by Cherishing Thing, and the final piece was put together by Juice Jars. Hot tea with milk and a big soft armchair. The best kind of winter warmth. Okay, so what do I like about this tiny story? It just goes so well together. I mean, the image, the tea, the wood burning fireplace, the bear in that comfortable chair, it just, I don't know, it's just a perfect blend, if you will, of, the tiny story with the proper imagery. I mean, it just invokes warmth and comfort and just everything, It is the perfect winter warmth. I mean, it's just wonderful, and just on all levels. And I definitely applaud all those that were involved in that creation. It was a great tiny story, and like I said, basically perfect. That's my take on it. Now, if you'd excuse me, I'd like to get back to my relaxation.
That was a wonderful tiny story. And now let's welcome our second guest, here to present their own favorite tiny story.
Hi, this is Stewie. I've been asked to pick my favorite tiny story, illustrated tiny story, and I picked Let Go by Lindsay Legend. She did the illustration and the text, and it reads, "They told her she would never be able to touch the clouds. That's when she realized she just needed to let go." The reason I like this so much, it reminds me of my daughter, my two daughters actually, and their way of looking at things. When they were little, they would try to solve problems, and I would try to help them. And I learned from them that they solved problems different than I did. They saw things different than I did, and I've found generally over the years that's quite common, that females see things different than males, and that's good. That's a good thing. I've tapped into that many times and got some different perspectives on life from seeing things through the eyes of someone else, especially my daughters. So thank you for asking me to share, and hello to everyone on HITRECORD, and thank you very much.
Wasn't that a wonderful tiny story? And now let's hear some more with our third guest.
Hi, my name is Casey C., and the tiny story that I really like is called Solemn Invocation. The story was written by Sea Stars Forever. The illustration was created by Liza's Brushes, and the final piece was put together by Teresa_TLC. And it reads like this: "You paint stories upon my skin, masterful watercolors weeping in, cool misty blues and pastel pinks, soft like rose petals, stormy as the sea." I love it because, well, first of all, it's a beautiful drawing, and I think that the writing pairs perfectly with it, and the script with its flowy nature. People's expressions don't always convey what's going on inside them, and so the writing, how it mentions pinks and blues, and then soft and stormy, I think that gives hints as to the emotions that may exist behind such a solemn expression. Plus, the phrase "painting stories upon my skin," not only does it describe this collaboration itself, but it's why I love HITRECORD, because there are so many stories told here through so many different mediums, whether it's illustrations and paintings, photography, stories, either Chinese stories or longer format, music, songs, visual design, films, the list goes on. And then when we collaborate with each other, we create even more stories. So anyway, that's why this resonated with me, and that's why I love this tiny story. Thanks.
Such amazing tiny stories. And we have room for one more tiny story. Let's welcome our fourth guest.
Hello, I'm Arc Lime, and the tiny story I really liked was Keeping Warm. This story was written by KCC, the illustration was created by Chirising Feng, and the final piece was put together by Mr. Happy Online. It reads like this: I'm by myself, but not feeling alone. So many memories keeping me warm. The teapot we shared, the scarf that I wear, surrounded by love, right here in my home. I really loved this story because I found it surprising and it subverted my expectations in a way that I found thought-provoking. And what I mean by that is I was initially attracted to this story because of the illustration. I love the warm, cozy atmosphere that it evokes. And so when I read the text, I was surprised to find myself reading about a character who is isolated, who is separated from a friend or loved one, and who has possibly experienced the loss of that loved one. And yet, this is still a warm, cozy, happy story. I love the way the text builds on the theme of warmth and goes beyond a physical sense of warmth. I love the way that it mentions specific objects you see in the illustration, like the teapot and the scarf, but imbues those objects with a deeper meaning relating to the character's memories. And thus, when I see this story, I think of that character experiencing warmth in a more profound way. I found myself thinking about this story long after I had read it. And it really gave me a lot to think about in regards to experiencing a loved one's presence as opposed to their absence through objects and memories. So I'm very thankful for everyone who contributed to creating this tiny story that touched me so deeply. Thank you. I think it's wonderful.
That's all the tiny stories we have for today. Thank you for all of our guests for participating in our first Tiny Story Show and all those who contributed. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope to see you again on the next episode.
I'm just laying on the grass, watching the clouds pass by. Bye bye, bye bye. I see you later. I make a cup of tea tonight. I'm alright tonight. Bye bye. I see you later. I make a cup of tea tonight. I'm alright tonight. Bye bye.
This is the Tiny Story Show on HITRECORD.
Hey, HITRECORD, JoeFed62 here. Welcome to the Tiny Story Show. This episode will be featuring 3 tiny stories, highlighted by 3 special guests. First up is Mr. Happy Online.
Hello, I am Mr. Happy Online. The Tiny Tim story I chose of Dream of Music. It was written by Lydia's. The illustration was created by Gila Maya. And the final piece was put together by 3 dogs and master. And the story reads, I sat at the piano and sent out these stories to the night. These notes as my word that I hope will reach you. And the reason why I chose this piece, I love the dream, I love music. And I love the illustration, how the music is floating into the air. And also it captivated me so very well. I love the way the young person is sitting on the piano and floating the air of music and hope into the world. Let's keep dreaming on. Let's keep feeling this love within your heart. Let's dream of a beautiful future, and I hope that it reach you all into this world. We shall not allow nothing to stop us and to defeat us, because we're dreaming with nothing but love. As your Mr. Happy always say, do not allow any obstacle to come into your way to stop you from succeeding what God has planned for you today. Dream on, my angels. I love you all.
Oh, meow, 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 meow.
All right. That is someone who truly loves art and hit record. Next up is Bugsy Meadows. Kind of makes me think of a gangster gardener. Anyways, we'll get his take on his favorite tiny story.
Hi, I'm Bugsy Meadows, and the tiny story that I really liked was The Needy Bed. The story was written by Gabby Vaughan and illustrated by Rim Frost, and the final composition was put together by Gabby Vaughan. It reads like this. The needy bed is afraid of mornings because she knows this is the time when the little girl wakes up and leaves her alone. I like this tiny story because I know how snug I feel in bed and how much I don't like to leave my bed some mornings. The snooze button is probably the most warm button on my alarm clock too. I like how this tiny story takes the concept of not wanting to get up and turns it to the perspective of the bed and how much the bed misses its companion.
That was a great tiny story. Our third and final guest is a veteran hit recorder who's been on the site since 2010. Yes, it's the incomparable and always inspiring Rosella Wiggin.
Hello, hit recorders. My name is Rosella Wigand, and the tiny story that I loved was Diagnosed Princess. This story was written and illustrated by Urban Nation, and she also put the final piece together, and it reads like this. She dreamed of being a princess, but she was as strong as the greatest dragon, and as brave as the most valiant knight. Now, one of the reasons why I love this story so much, besides the overall message, which is quite significant and profound, is the fact that it relies so much on the imagery to tell us the whole story. Because to just read the text alone, it mentions a princess, a dragon, a knight, that might conjure up some sort of fantasy adventure, which would be a great story, but that's not what this is. That's not what this is about. Because when you look at the imagery, you see that it is of a young girl, and you see that there are two sides to her, and on one side, she has on this beautiful gown, and she has a crown on her head, and she has her hair down long, and you know that this is the princess side. This is the side that she wanted to be. But then on the other side, she's still wearing a gown, but we see that it is a hospital gown. And instead of wearing a crown, we see that her head is shaved. So this tells us that not only was she a patient, but she was a cancer patient. Now, I don't know if this was Urban Nation's intention when she drew this, but I also noticed that this young girl doesn't have a face, and I feel that that was for the purpose of so that when we look at it, that we see someone either we know or we knew who had to face and go into this battle with cancer themselves. And it is just that. It is a battle, and it takes a lot of strength for someone to have to fight it. And so while this young girl, while she wants to be this princess, she wants to have this carefree life, she wants to have fun, she wants to dress up, she wants to play. While she wanted all those things, she also had this other side to her. She had this dragon inside of her that she needed to slay. And in order to slay it, she had to have the strength to match up against it. And she had to be brave. Because it's written in the past tense, I also gather that she did not win this battle. But because her strength and bravery is highlighted in such a way, I feel that is to tell us that that is what she's going to be known for. Not that she was a cancer patient, but that she fought with all she had to the bitter end. That will be her legacy. Her character, the things that she did, the things that she accomplished in her life while she was here. That's what people will remember. So it's a very powerful tiny story. It's so deep and it has so many layers to it, and I just loved it so much. And I think that it was really clever on Urbanation's part to never mention the word cancer, and to just let the image speak that part to us. So it's a tremendous tiny story. So thank you, Urbanation, for sharing it with us, and thank you to the Tiny Story Show crew for inviting me to be a guest on this show, and thank you to all of you for watching.
All right. These tiny stories are so wonderful that it is truly hard to pick a favorite. I'm here to tell you. But that wraps up this episode of the Tiny Story Show. I'd like to thank our guests, Rosella Wiggin, Bugsy Meadows, and Mr. Happy Online. And if you'd like to collaborate with us or be a guest on our show, join us at the Tiny Stories Project.
I am focused in everything that I do.
I will keep moving forward. My story hasn't ended.
I am capable. I am compassionate. I am intelligent. I am finding my voice.
I am a badass.
I'm so happy and grateful for all the abundance in my life.
I am love.
I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and my soul knoweth right well.
I am blessed. I am safe.
I am enough. You are enough.
I am happy once again.
Hey there, kiddo. You're doing great. Keep it up. You're almost there. Keep going. You'll get there.
I am creative.
I am abundant in all that is good.
I am finally on the right track.
We got this.
I am beautiful, I am brave, and no one can tell me otherwise.
I am loved.
I accept my voice, and I am not afraid to use it.
James is trapped, living in a recurring Groundhog's Day where he dies at the end of each day. The day has repeated 8 times, so he is now terrified of going to sleep.
I'm just an old man. My bone, hey, she can pick it back up. Yeah, let me tell you what I can do, though. I can still get like being gay and put it on my bone. Hey, we just gonna feel this sweet little funky bass. I'm just an old man, like that funky beat, baby. Yeah.
We put down our umbrellas and invited the rain to stay.